Hi everyone, it's Christopher Gavigan, co-founder of Prima, and we are here to have a great conversation, first time ever, with my wife. I'm going to find her now. I think I'm gonna figure this out. If everyone could just bear with me for a second. I see her. I'm gonna send that request. And I'm waiting for her. This is going to be a fun conversation. Oh my gosh, there you are.
Hi.
We figured this out.
We did it.
I mean,
It's been a while since I've seen you. Hi, honey.
I'm a Luddite. Hi, babe.
You were so worried that I wasn't going to make this happen. You were sweating it.
I was so worried that I wasn't going to be able to figure it out. I don't do this.
Super sweating it. You were like texting me. Are you sure? And you were using your really nice husband voice. You didn't want to stress me out.
Yeah, I was leaning in with all my hi. You need anything?
Do you have it? Are you good?
Got it?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Hi, babe.
Hi. So we are gonna wait as people roll in, but I'm excited to talk to you because
I'm your first, because I get to be the first fan. I was the first fan of Prima. I liked in lives, just so we're clear, it's only my second one. I like to talk about my hair first.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to because I just like to make sure it's all.
I can give you positive affirmations about that.
Sometimes it does something weird on one side and not the other. So, oh, you know what? It's better if I do this. I'm gonna turn this way. Hi.
Yeah. The light. You got good light. It's a happening for you.
You know, the lighting game is. I think it's a work in progress.
Always.
Look at all these sweet hearts floating up on the side.
That's how. Look, you are beloved by many.
I love the love hearts.
So we are going to answer their questions. So everyone, hold your questions. We are going to be soliciting, asking, answering, all those good things. But I'm David Letterman today. I get to be the Ellen DeGeneres of. I get to ask you questions.
You have the notes. Oh, are you gonna surprise me? You're gonna find out something you never knew right now.
I'm just so glad we didn't prep. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
First of all,
welcome everyone. So excited to have you here. I'm Christopher Gavigan, CEO and founder of Prima, and this is the esteemed, renowned, my beloved wife, Jessica Capshaw.
Every day from now on.
And we're here to chat and bring some outside of context to daily practices and habits around stress management and how we're all dealing with the time today, the enormity of what's going on, the chaos and calamity of it all. We're here to talk about how we manage that and what we do and how do we approach it through personal story, anecdotes, and just getting curious with each other. We don't do this very often, so this is going to be fun for us.
No, gosh, no. In this day and age where you have so much on your plate, we all have so much on our plates, whether we're out in the world, and I mean, obviously selectively and safely, or we're at home. But yeah, there's a lot right now. So, and I think that probably most couples, it's like, where do you find that time and space to catch up? So look, we're just going to catch up with, a little private catch up we're going to have here.
Okay, I'm going to start with the first question. You ready?
Yes.
If you had to introduce yourself to me, but we've never met. I'm a complete stranger. How would
you're genuinely going to ask me questions that are...
Oh, for sure. Oh, we're going for it. How would you describe yourself in the here and now?
In the here and now. Okay, so I'm just going to give you words. I would say in the here and now, present time, I am at any given time curious, empowered, confused, scared, happy, grounded, but also sort of a little head in the cloudsy, right? I sort of, every time life gets a little too hard, there's a nice way to sort of like take yourself above it all and go, I'm just going to put a little soft around the eyes.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, you roll as and I think this is again, these are all choices, and how you show up and how you present and perfect yourself. You roll hopeful. You are a positive force, and your power stance is, I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna get myself through this, and that's a superpower.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy that you think that of me. And that resonates. I feel once I heard someone say one time that everything will be okay in the end. If it's not the end, it's not okay. And there was something about that that's super simple and yet made everything seem right in the world, right? Like it's not going to be, I'm not going to accept an end where it's not okay. By the way, it's going to be great in the end or it's going to be horrible in the end. It's okay. We're going to make peace with an end. We're going to figure it out. We're going to find our way there. If we didn't get what we wanted, I mean, I can't tell you how many times in life that I've so wanted something so badly with all of my being and gone to sleep at night just thinking about it and waking up in the morning and hoping for it and then having it not happen.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be okay.
So in the again, the here and now, in the world of an extreme health crisis, an economic crisis, and certainly here in the United States, a challenging time with cultural and societal flux and reconsideration and reimagining. How are you doing, really? And what are you doing to help manage your mindset and your I mean, obviously we've got 4 stunning humans at home besides us. How are you managing that all? What are your practices or tips or solutions, or like what's coming up for you that I'm asking that
well,
like, oh my God, this is what I do.
I said this to you I think yesterday, which was there hasn't been reason to, and I haven't besides, like, I don't know, the switch in your day where you're like, oh, I'm going to take a shower and, put on a different set of cozy clothes to, be in my life. But I guess maybe 2 or 3 days last week, I just decided, like, I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to actually, like, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to put on, like, real clothes, not just top-up clothes. And I have to say, even just putting on a pair of, like, boots, like, just to hear the sound of my heels in a hall, it was sort of, it just reminded me of something that is different. I think that so many people are dealing with the fact that every day feels a little bit the same, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
with that veil of stress, right? In a world where stress is a pervasive social and physical toxicant, it's impacting us physically and mentally and emotionally and our social relationships. What are you finding a respite and some solace and some ways to manage or find solutions to help minimize? And I'm not teeing you up for preem at all.
Not at all.
I mean, seriously, I'm not.
Not at all. Not at all. I think that, I mean, because I've just been sort of doing more stuff, like interviews and whatnot, because of holiday coming out. I feel like sometimes I say things more than once, but it's because that's really what's going on with me and I'm not making it up, right? I feel like there have been times in my life where so many things are changing and I can feel very uneasy about that. And I can get worried. I'm like, me, I'm like very, like, I'm always looking for the danger in the room. Like, what's going to happen? Like, I, as much as I'm optimistic, I also roll a little defensive in the sense of, like, I just am going to be prepared for whatever might go wrong. Yeah. And I think that feeling can sort of sometimes translate into what I think people identify as and relate to as being, like, a little anxious, like a little, ooh, what's going to happen?
I would describe you as hyper vigilant.
I'm aware. I'm very aware. I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm aware of people around me. I'm aware of people's feelings. Sometimes I feel all the feelings in the room. But I feel like when I actually, after being on Grays for 10 years and knowing exactly what my program was, and where I went and my same parking spot and the same, people in the same places and all that, I think that when I went to go do something different, and I went to go shoot this movie Holiday in Atlanta, that would have been a really perfect tee up for me to be a little anxious, right? Because I was taking, I took Josie with me for, I went back and forth, but I took some of the kids and then I'd come back and I was working. And that was right around the time that you had said, hey, what about this, we have this amazing new capsule, the daily. And I was like, okay, great. I'm always willing, but I'm always I'm a funny mix. I'm optimistic, but I'm also skeptical. I'm a critical thinker, right? Like I'm not just going to take something or think that something's some way because someone tells me. I'm going to see if I really think that. So I remember taking it. And I remember thinking like, well, with anything, you got to take it for probably 2 or 3 weeks to know really what it's doing. And then I remember my vigilance comes in. I have a program. I have my routine, and I was taking it. And I remember being on the phone with you one night, probably after work later or on the later side, and you'd asked me a question about something, and I said, it's funny, I gotta say, I haven't been worried. I just haven't been worried about the kids at home. I haven't been worried about the work. I've been having such a great time. I'm having fun. There's like, I don't know, it's like maybe I got like an upgrade or something. And all of a sudden it flashed to me in my mind that one of the things that had changed was that I started taking the daily. And so I feel like that definitely, for me, again, everyone's different, but for me, that was something that it really, really, really helped with. And now I wouldn't know if it does or not anymore because I just refuse to not take it every morning. So.
Well, it's part of your quote unquote program. For just adding some context and color for folks, what Jessica's talking about is the daily, which for us, what we've done is we've accessed the hemp plant and pulled out the best and most active therapeutics from that plant and then put it together in a capsule in this vegan soft gel. And what we know about these cannabinoids and other phytonutrients, that alkaloids and terpenes and phenols and omegas and chlorophyll that's in that.
Oh, honey, tell me more. Talk to me dirty.
Get it. Is
chlorophylls. What else? What was the other word you said? There were many of them.
Terpenes.
Yeah. Oh, terpenes. Come on.
Is what we are so excited about in the physiological and scientific community, which fires me up to the geekiest level, is
He's not kidding.
I'm not.
There's nothing about this that's a joke.
But it is in a world where we're trying to understand and bridge the gap between healthcare and wellness, and we're doing the work to do the work on stress management and understand and unpack how the body works. We're still like uncovering and discovering incredible things about the human body. And now we know about this new endocannabinoid system, which is wildly fantastic, and how that is a communication bridge between cells and these receptor networks inside of our body. I mean, what you experienced was, and what I'll just put words into. I hear you describing is you felt more grounded. What else did you feel? Because that's what people. Again, the science is there, and some people need to have validation, but it's like 2%. Everyone wants to know either the feeling or what's your benefit. So what was your benefit?
I think that the good news is, I'm going to ask you the same question after I answer, but because it's, like I said, each person is different. For me, the biggest benefit was there was nothing that I noticed I didn't feel changed. There was nothing different about me. It was the absence of something, right? It was the absence of a more acute worry. Like I'm a worrier, right? I'm in charge of a lot of people. And I do a lot of things.
Tiny humans.
A lot of tiny humans. And everybody's, I'm talking about when you're talking about being curious or, time that we sort of have that we didn't have or didn't allow for keeping things pretty close to home, one of the things I'm learning about myself is that, and it's different, right? Everybody's different. Everybody's different. But when things go wrong, I definitely skew towards like, what did I do wrong? Like, what ball did I drop? What could I have, seen coming? How could I have been more prepared? What can I do? And so for me, that it gets a little rough to live with, that feeling, right? Like it's a little.
I mean, can I describe what I see?
Yeah. Sharp elbows.
Yeah, none of that. It's a more, your analogy is lovely and beautiful in the sense that if you are all you, grounded you, but you get away with some of the noise, some of the anxious, stress-induced noise, you're clearer, you're more grounded, you're more, the peaks and troughs of the emotional fabric of life are the edge cases get pushed aside, and you're more consistent. I think that's what I feel when I've gotten into the space. I just feel more like me, and the more consistent, grounded. I think consistent is the right word. I'm more dependable with myself, which is such a great feeling.
You're the most dependable.
Most dependable, reliable. Oh my God, I'm going to ask that question. So wait, we're going to get
no. But wait, okay, no, go ahead.
Okay, so
you're clearly driving this car.
Yeah, you know it. So what does well-being? At Primo, we've really tried to recategorize and redefine and help people. The world of wellness is so physical, and we believe well-being is something different. What does well-being mean for you? And I'll describe, because I don't think we've talked about this. What does well-being mean for you? What does that word mean, and how do you describe well-being?
Well, you know that I can be a very literal thinker. So I think it really is, I'm just going to reverse the words. It's being well, like the state of being, right? So we're all in a state of being. We're here, our presence. We're on this earth in these rooms, and we are here being. And I think that we can be here in a way that's not so great or comfortable, and then we can be here in a way that's super comfortable. We all know that feeling, right? It's like, when you're just like, you can go above and below, but you want to stay mostly static in your happy place, and then you'll have like the big feelings up or down.
So what are the pillars that are building the happy place?
I think it's sort of dependent on, I think you want it to be dependent on, and see, I think maybe that's what I mean by well-being. Well-being for me would be like my static line in the middle where I can sort of not float, but exist. And that will be dependent on, my idea of myself, my fulfillment of, all the things that make me happy. And then the things that will make me go higher or lower are usually experiences, right? And you don't know what those are going to be. You can't predict what they're going to be. You can design them, but probably less so these days, right? I feel like a lot of people are talking about identifying for themselves that some of the things that they were most tethered to in pre-COVID times were planning things, like having the enjoyment of planning something, and you don't really get to plan that much right now. So I think it's experiences that sort of have made me sort of, go above or below the sort of static line of well-being.
Yeah. The way we're describing it, because I think we're right in line, and just to be a bit more sharp with the words that we're using, is that beautiful intersection, collision, dovetail, however you want to say it, of the physical, the social, and the mental. So there are all these pillars, or this integration between all those three, because none of those, you can't be healthy if you're just physically healthy, but your mind or emotions or mood are a wreck. Like, that's not health, right? I could eat as many kale salads, which thankfully you prepare and are lovely and giving with those. I can eat as many of those as I want. But if there is a wave of stress that is spiking my cortisol every day and is impacting my immunity and impacting my world, I can't function. I might have a healthy body, but the holistic integration is not there. So we're really trying to teach and talk about that world of well-being, because that's from a systems thinking perspective. We live in a world, especially Western medicine, where it's symptom oriented. Problem, put on a Band-Aid, right? But when we think about systems, which I love about this endocannabinoid system, of what hemp is doing, and how we're building this brand, is that we're systems thinking. And systems are the integration of a multitude of factors. I mean, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing around the globe right now. You know, health is more than a vaccine. Health is practices. Health is a vaccine is going to be extremely helpful, but it's a surround sound of many things that need to create health.
We'll talk about, because I feel like I was thinking about this a lot this morning when I was thinking about doing this. I always love when you talk about I feel like you kind of grow up thinking, well, you have a problem and then you fix it, but you don't have to fix a problem you don't have yet. And I feel like you speak very specifically to the idea that if you are keeping your well-being intact, then you have a far greater barrier system between you and a problem, and you won't be chasing a problem and trying to fix the problem, but you will actually live in a way where you are fortified and don't allow for the problems, the ones that you can control. But talk a little bit about like the preventative stuff.
Yeah, well, you
speak in very specifics. I say things like the preventative stuff, that stuff.
You got the prevention is that. I mean, that's what you're talking about. For me, preventative care is healthcare. It's in a world where we're seeing healthcare costs rise, and the distrust and erosion of faith with the medical industrialized complex, certainly government and larger institutions. People are now taking much more proactive positions in their health. They are seeking the solutions. They are finding the methodologies and ways. They are living in a better way. So that's that creation of, and that empowerment piece. For me, it's like empowerment. I am in control. I mean, we're control enthusiasts. I'm in control. And I think that
more than others.
Exactly. And I'm choiceful. I get to choose. And so I think that's the investment that people are now in a world where, again, there's a big reboot, that health is our wealth. Health is the central tenet to with how we relate to the world. Healthy relationships, healthy connections, healthy self, healthy mindset, healthy mood, great sleep. Like that is all healthful. And for me, that's exciting, because you know me very well. I'm impatient, and
you're also just you're always ahead of it. I mean, I feel like our whole lives, you've always been like, you'll come home from something and be like, this is gonna be the new thing. This is changing things. This is changing how it all is gonna go down. And I think, listen, I also think it's very human, right, to have this moment where you live how you live, and you live how you live because it's convenient, or because you like the way certain things taste, or how something makes you feel, and you do it, and you have fun, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you get sick.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you would literally give any of that stuff that was comfortable to you up if you could just feel better.
Totally.
And so it makes sense. It's sort of, you want to take the rough edges out of any part of your life, because you want to take care of yourself, and you don't want to have to be making a deal with the devil to never, ever, ever do that thing again.
I know.
Feel better.
And it's because for me, we all live in this world where the power of choice, I mean, thankfully we have it. It's a gift, it's a duty, it's a responsibility. But when you choose a brand, or when you choose to put things in your mouth, those are conscious choices. Who am I supporting? Who grew this? Where was this built? Who are the people behind this brand? all those are choices, and that's exciting to me. And it's also, it allows me to support the causes, because brands are causes. They have a mission and a purpose and a vision and goal orientation. And the people growing, or the makers of the world, like that empowerment piece is so exciting. And I think that we get to, in a world where we get to choose alignment, and there's optionality is so broad and vast that I mean, you're very conscious of this, that when you choose to put your dollar or your voice or your all yourself behind something, it should matter, because it says, it's, yes, it's the here and now, but it's also like my vision for the future, and my vision for, the vision for our children. Like, what's this world going to be for our children in 10 to 15 to 50 years? And every choice matters. And you can't, you've heard me say this, you can't unknow something. That's my problem. I have a okay memory in certain areas, but there are some areas that I just can't ever get out of my brain. And I have to, like, action for me is the antidote for despair, because otherwise I would be just riddled with sadness if I couldn't do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I think that there's also, this is where my optimism comes in, right? Because yes, there are certain bells you can't unring, and you will always feel that vibration on some level, because you know it, right?
Yeah.
But you also have to allow for sometimes the self-care. I mean, again, the antidotes aren't the same for everyone, but sometimes the self-care is trying to tune out that self-critical voice, right? Like, I know that this isn't like the best thing I could be doing, but also sometimes it's not the worst thing you could be doing, right? And so not polarizing things so much that you are aware of there being like good and bad behavior, because then you might get a little like me and be the rebel that's like, I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Well, look, you've taught me that very well. It's that those are that critical voice and that sharpness. We don't live in a binary world, right? It's the dance in the gray that we all have to manage and find our way in. So I think you're absolutely right. We have to figure that. I'm going to ask you another question. You ready?
Yeah, maybe.
Just to check in, we're getting tons of great comments. Keep them coming, you guys. I can't wait to answer some of them at the end.
I feel like I've been hearing some people ask for a hair flip.
Oh, rock and roll.
We might need to break it down with the hair flip real quick.
Oh, I'm ready for one. Are you?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Good hair flip.
So sort of going. Okay, hold on. I might need to just here for a second.
Oh, where are you going? Wait,
hold on. I gotta fluff it up. Hold on. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go.
Ready? Okay, we're ready.
Hi.
Oh, that was nice. Good
yeah,
job.
right. It just repositions. Oh, look at that. See, guys.
Positive affirmation on the hair flip. Good job.
Okay, here's my question. When's Prima gonna have some hair products?
Ooh, pipeline. You're talking pipeline. You're talking 2022.
All right.
Let's come. We have products from the inside. We have products to manage the relief and the comfort of your musculature and your body and just how you move. So pain perception and that body's inflammatory response. And then we've got bodies for the skin. So, I mean, we could talk about, well, I don't want to talk about skincare regime yet, because I know you've got a remarkable one. You look so good. Okay. Daily affirmations or perfect day? Which one do you want to go to? What's your perfect day or daily affirmations? Like 3 words, daily affirmation this morning. What were they?
I think on a loop. Gosh, I need to work on this. You did not prep me for asking me about affirmations. I don't know with my affirmations.
Oh my God, come on. Gratitude's got to be in your top 3. Gratitude. Generosity is always your giver.
Sorry, affirmation. I was confused. No, to be honest, at this particular time in life, gratitude is actually alone at the top of the list by itself, because I have found that the gratitude somehow manages to multiply everything else.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah, it's almost
unifier
like,
and clarifier.
yeah.
And yeah, it's the best.
Well, it's just like it's the thread that you pull at, and all of a sudden you
Here's
just have it all.
and what I bucked up against it for a little bit, and now I'm like fully into the gratitude tribe, or is that the right word? Or like the team.
The crew, the gratitude crew.
Yeah, good call. Is everyone was saying it, but once you start it and once you get it, it's remarkably transformative. So that's all.
So here's what changes it for me. I know you've already heard me say this, but I'll say it again. Is that I think when gratitude first arrived on the scene, it became this thing that was very like #gratitude, and I think it made you sound, and you were putting out the perception of someone who was humble and appreciative and aware and looking around, and all of that's good. But there was something that didn't quite, there was just a tiny bit hollow for me.
Exactly. It was flippant and like shallow.
Well, it just didn't, it stopped meaning something once it really did become a hashtag. So for me, I was curious. And I think a lot of this came from, you know how much I love Brene Brown. Best day of my life was when she liked something on Instagram. I thought I was above that stuff, but I am not.
No, she's in here. I saw her. She came
Stop
in.
it right. Stop it right. I can't. Now I'm going to get really nervous.
I'm kidding. Okay, Renee.
I'm back.
We'll talk later.
So the idea of sort of bringing gratitude into an active and vibrant practice, as opposed to just a word that describes something, like I'm grateful for the things I have, but like the gratitude, if you could almost imagine it as a verb, right? Like an active seeking where in your life you are appreciative of something that you just think is so cool, or that you couldn't live without, or that is super simple, but actually, you know, it's water, and without it you would be nowhere.
Yeah. You've got to seek it, you've got to solicit it, you've got to find it, you've got to acknowledge it, and you've got to say it. Like it's got to be there, and it's a practice, because it takes time, it takes effort, but once you cultivate it, it's like it's powerful. Question. I know. Let's get to parenting. This would not be complete unless we talked about our the greatest things in our life, besides each other, is our 4 children. And I adore them so much. But I adore them because, and gratefully, because you are able to help me, but be the primary driver, manager, lover, believer in them, and you are so good at it. And I just so am beyond grateful for that. But how, like in a parenting world, what you do so much, there's so much dimension in it. How do you manage that? Because I hear parents, the question that I always get is, oh my God, how do you manage being a parent and a dad and an entrepreneur? Like, what would you say to the question of how do you manage your parenting style, or what is your parenting style that makes you feel, I mean, we've got everyone on this live, we've got some of the greatest little humans around. How do you stylistically or approach, how do you go into that every single day? Is it the same every day? Is it different? What's your style? What's your vibe? What's your process?
I mean, I'm a really big fan of, I mean, first of all, I wake up every morning truly, genuinely excited. Like I mean. Yes,
I see that every morning.
With what's going to happen, right? Especially if it's 2020, what's going to happen? And I think with the kids, you know, I mean, you just asked a lot of questions all in one big ball.
Sorry. This is my first time doing this, so sorry.
No, but I would say that it's something I've said before, and I'll say again until the end of all time, because by the way, and a lot of women get super irritated when anybody asks, like, how do you do it? Like, how do you work outside the house?
Yeah.
And that's not what you're asking, by the way.
No.
When people ask that question, I think that previously, because I am in the generation that was sort of like in the beginning of being, there were people, I think women were so excited to be able to think they could do it all that the collective culture thought and told women they could, right? Like, yes, you can do it all. You can do it all. You can like be a badass in the boardroom, and you can make breakfast before the kids, and then be badass in the boardroom, and then have like a really great lunch with a girlfriend, and then go back to work and slay it there, and then come home and make an amazing meal, and then have, you know, a great conversation with your husband, and then so much sex, and then you wake up and do it all again the next day. And it's like, well, no, you can't. Not all of that in one day. I mean, that's a really good day.
That's your perfect day.
But I mean, you can't do that all. And the idea that anyone would go out into the world and make people think that you could is unkind, right? It's unkind.
Totally.
So I think the first thing is like, how do you balance? How do you do it all? You don't do it all in one day. Sometimes, I've said this a lot, sometimes if I looked at everything I did in the day, I would say, wow, I'm super proud of what I did at work today. I was an awesome actress, scene partner, whatever. But if I look at what I did as a parent, like I kind of sucked. I was like a 2.
So what's your approach? I'll be very clear. What's your approach with the kids now? I know it's evolving, and there's 4 of them, and they're all different ages. Should we choose one?
It's just staying present. It's just checking in. I've been saying this too, but it's kind of it's a little bit with the hashtag grateful. It's definitely something people are saying more. But I don't mean it just like saying it. I mean it like truly, truly, truly. I think you need to meet people where they're at. I think you need to meet people where they're at in general in life right now. But I think that with kids, especially because they're living through a pandemic and they're infinitely adaptable, and they're going to do, you know, probably better than adults at this. But you have to check in. You know, the approach is, where are we at? And wherever we're at, that's okay. Like it's like on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're having a 2 day, that's okay. Like let's hope that tomorrow is a 9.5 or a 10 even, right? Let's always shoot for 10, but let's understand why we're at a 2. And maybe a 2 is because, you know, you're not connected with your friends. Maybe a 2 is because you think you suck at math. I don't know, right? But if you're meeting them where they're at, then there's a safety in being who you are and having that be enough.
Yeah, I agree with that, because what I see and what I observe in you, which I think is an important one, is yes, the benefit of the doubt, and yes, like assuming positive intent for the kids and like giving them, like meeting them where they're at. But you are equal parts anchor, so dependable, mom's there, a consistent, also whilst being, you're a person who is pushing and allowing and granting and bringing them along on a journey along the way. So it never feels stale. And that's what I think the kid, like for us, what we're observing, the kids really respond to. So it's dependability and trust and love and anchor, but like, hey, I expect, and we're going to do, and like, let's go here. So it's an anchored journey.
It's an anchor journey. But I also think there's something to be said for, you know, right now the kids are ages 4 to 13. And what I'm loving is that you get to parent differently along different ages. Like I'm loving that Luke is at an age where you can kind of like, you get a little naughty with him sometimes. You can say things where he goes like, did you just say that? But it's fun. It makes it even more interesting and definitely super fulfilling for me.
Yeah. Okay, next question. You ready? These are going to be real quick. You have to answer them really quickly.
Oh, God, you know I'm not good at that. I like to talk too much.
On.
Go ahead. All right.
You've got this. Okay, so you are, like, again, you're creative. You're really a magical thinker when it comes to your creativity, but you need to be inspired. So I'm going to ask you around doing, admiring, listening, reading, and creating. So what are you doing that's helping you be inspired right now? What are you doing?
Reading.
Great. What are you reading that's inspiring you?
I'm reading. I mean, sometimes I pick up collections of short stories because I know I can get that done. Along those lines, like again, like the smaller bites that you can like properly chew and digest. So that also has been like podcasts. Like I've been a pretty devoted listener to the New York Times, The Daily, when I can. I love Dr. Lisa Pressman and her parenting podcast. But the reading has been, again, picking things off. And then also, again, because the kids are getting older, this summer it was great because Luke and I, decided to read Stamped together. And that was, we were passing, remember the summer, right? We were passing the book back and forth. We were actually reading the same exact book, but he would read 2 chapters and I would read 2 chapters. And then we would talk about what those chapters, what we learned, what meant to us, where we were confused.
Such good dialogue. Yeah. Such good dialogue. Okay. So you got books in there, you've got podcasts in there. Any blogs or articles you love? You could say no.
Yeah, no.
Okay, great. What are you listening?
I'm such an overachiever. I'm like, hold on, let me think of one.
Music or meditations or anything that you're listening to that's like, oh God, that person or that music is just rocking me. And
I need to work on the meditation part of my life. This is true. But I would say
Harris, he's go-to. Go ahead.
The music. I mean, you know me. If you come home and I don't know you're coming, you're going to hear a bunch of teenage girl music.
I mean, yeah, but like
I'm like the top 20. I'm a top 20 type of girl.
Top 50. But the dance party USA is always happening in our house. And that, what are you creating that you feel like is notable outside outside of the work, outside of our home, and outside of the tidy humans we have inside the home? What are you creating that you're proud of?
A life.
Yeah, the art of life is a ever going, ever changing opportunity.
Yeah. And I don't think you think of it holistically at all times, right? Like, oh, I'm working on a life, but every component of life and a good life.
And you do such a wonderful job. Okay. I won't do my stand face. Here we go. The question, and I'm going to see comments below. Is it better to be resourceful or capable?
Well.
No one's answering.
I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Okay, yeah. we can answer.
You're right. I saw silencio.
Okay, here's a couple questions, and then let's get to your routines for skin. Everyone remarks on your skin. It is, I will attest to it. It is stunningly capable and strong.
It's because I'm resourceful.
You are adding resourceful ingredients to your face.
Totally.
Oh wow. Instead of therapeutics and functional and botanical, you're resourceful. I'm going to use that in marketing copy soon. So for your skincare regime, are you constantly seeking? Do you listen to people? Do you do your own research? Obviously, I bring a ton home, and I'm constantly asking you to slather things and try things, which you're incredibly gracious about doing that. But a couple things you want to call out that would help folks understand what your skincare routine is?
Well, I would say that at this point, the thing that I take for granted that now that I'm with you talking about this, I'm reminded of, which is that, I think you need to have someone who knows more than you do. And you have to be very clear and careful about the person that you're going to trust.
For sure.
That's what they say. And you were the first person that introduced me to the idea that that your skin was your biggest organ and that there could be things you put on it that weren't so great for you. And so given that there are things that are good for you that you can put on your skin that do the same thing, those are the ones you should be aiming for. So I think you need to have someone or find a source that's super trustworthy to talk about, what is good and what is not. And then I think that you have to be able to sort of identify and be aware of what works and what doesn't. Like, I mean, I can, like one of my favorite products of yours. You just read a comment and laughed. What happened?
No, people adore you. It's so great to see.
Okay, so okay. So one of my favorite products is Night Magic.
Oh yeah, gush on us, gush on me.
Gush on us? No, we're not gushing on us. We're
No, I said gush on us.
Oh, gosh on us, yes. Gushing on all things that you've done, Honest and Prima. The Night Magic is amazing, but the Night Magic, my skin has to be in the place where it needs it, and then it like absorbs it and it loves it, and it's the happiest ever.
Yeah.
And
I'm so different. My skin, it's so interesting on skin types, but my skin runs probably perpetually dry for unknown reasons, because I'm constantly drinking water. But that's just who I am, how I'm built, and for me, it's like it's a fountain. It's like liquid gold for my face.
Yeah.
My skin, like
I see you every night. It's definitely like liquid gold. It's like a shining sun orb coming out of the bathroom.
Shimmers.
Oh yeah, shimmers.
No, but that's my last step.
But I mean, look at your skin. So there. I mean, obviously it works.
It's working wonders. Cannabinoids for skin health and skin rejuvenation and skin integrity are remarkable. Again, this functional botanical space is clean is the mandate. Look for clean products. Like I've spent my career, as you know, in it. It's now like unless the brand you are putting on your face, unless you know how to read the label, unless they have a point of view on clean, safe, non-toxic, healthful, natural, botanical, plant-based ingredients, like ditch it. Don't buy it again.
Yeah.
I mean, so now what are the actives? Now what are the ingredients that they're putting in at the efficacious levels that have been clinically tested, that are doctor validated, that actually have the science and rigor behind them, that will show real skin transformation? That's what I'm most excited about in this space, is because you can really get some heavy lifters in there to be like so many interesting benefits. I mean, we have 3 skincare products for the face alone, and they each do, they have their own set of plant actives that each do their own specific function. They could be paired together.
For me, the serum every night is
niacinamide. It's the Enlightenment serum is just pore refinement. It's amazing. Yeah.
I remember trying it in its development stage and being like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
this is amazing.
You were using way too much.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I was like, "When's it gonna come out? When's it gonna come out? When's it gonna come out?"
It's special, and just that's what is most exciting, because as a science and product formulator, all this stuff comes home, right? So we are the people that are trying it. So for our skin therapy, which is this targeted emollient skin body butter, very targeted, like hands, cracked elbows, dry, irritated skin. Kids lather it all over their face every day and night. That product alone, I don't know if you even know this data point, 56 redirects. So that's like, take it home, try it. Up, not good enough. 56 times we took that in and took it back.
That's insane.
That's like,
that's insane. Well, when you brought home the different smelling bath gems, which, I mean, let's not forget the bath gem.
Oh, don't give away too much. Not many people know about what we're doing.
Okay, just kidding. Nothing happened with the bath gem.
Bath gem bath gem just this week alone. We sell that at Sephora online, and it's crushing it. It's the
best thing ever.
As Cindy says, it is this. Okay, I want to get it right. It is going to a full day at the spa for $16.
Yeah, totally.
You love it. I mean, is that your favorite premium product?
By the way, because it's $16, I really do justify staying in the bath for upwards of, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes.
You guys, when we first had that product out, Jessica was like, I walked into the bathroom one time, she was like, trying to break it to prolong it. It's not precious. Use it. Get it in the bath. but she was trying to break it. She's like, I just want to save some or travel with this one.
I might have used a bread knife to have that baby one time.
You're full. Okay, so we've got 10 minutes. Anything you want to ask me before we start asking some questions for some folks?
Well, I have a question. What can we look forward to? What's coming around the corner? What are you guys picking up?
I was gonna say I'm coming home. No. We are cooking up some really interesting things in the right after the new year, like January 5th. We have some product launches. We actually have a product launch coming up next week. So all these around. Look, the brand stands for stress relief, the science of stress relief. Again, in this world of digital addiction and doom scrolling, and we're all in this silent anxiety, and how do we help people relieve physically, mentally, socially? How do we help them? It's a relief. It's a caretaker brand. Yeah. And the science is astounding, and so we really lean into what are the tools and tips and solutions. And so the one that we're launching next week is a tool. It actually is actually a physical object for stress relief, which is really transformative and has a ton of history, but we've got some really cool innovation ingredients, and then we're teaching a lot about it. And we have to teach, we have to educate. This is a category that we're in cannabis, and cannabis is so stigmatized, and it's got so much misinformation and bad gray market economy history, right? We have to add context and color and credibility. We have to do that work. So it's
But I think that's what's so amazing. Sorry, and I'm interrupting Josh for a second. That's what I think is so amazing is, first of all, you're one of the most hardworking people that I have ever met in my whole life. Nice. Everyone knows this about you. And when you were building this, and when you were just an idea machine. Every day was, every time of the day, just ideas. You were so passionate about it. And you were so passionate about it because you had the right ramp to get there, which was you were all about the science, and then you were all about the culture and the values, and then you got led to, I want to really, really focus on this stress relief and lowering people's cortisol levels and under having them feel less of to be super simple, the bad stuff, like the feelings that you don't want to feel. And so your entire website and every single pamphlet that comes and your products and everything else, it's very inspiring because it speaks to a life that you want to live, and not one that makes you feel under it, but one that makes you feel at it or above it. See, again, I bring in the static line, the plus. See how I'm just pulling that all together?
Creative force.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Education piece. I love the education piece, and I've loved every single one of the products. They've been so purposeful and so unique. I mean, for me at least. But I keep seeing that people keep asking me what my favorite product is. My favorite product is hands down. I'm only gonna say I love them all. I'm gonna say favorite because it's the one that I use every single day, which is the daily. So yeah,
and the daily links. Once people try the daily, their interest and excitement for all the other products is broadcast fairly broad. So it is a gateway type of product. It is a product that links to all other products and all experiences, because you feel, you notice, you see, you experience a big shift physically and mentally. And I think that's what people are seeking. We're seeking, again, to your point, less bad, just more better. Every single day, incrementally, just a little bit better. And that's what we can only all hope for and wish and try to give and create for everyone else.
For sure.
Okay.
I want you to answer some questions.
Yeah, let's answer some questions. So we'll Prima ship to UK soon, you guys. We're working on that in 2021. What other questions would we have?
A lot of people who have birthdays. I feel like I need some names for birthdays.
Tons of birthdays. Tons of Eu falo pouquinho Portuguese. Tons of Brazilian fans of yours. What changes are you most excited to see in the country?
I love Brazil.
Love Brazil. And France too. We love France. How are you both feeling today? How are you feeling?
Oh, great.
Really?
How are you?
Really excited. We have a winner too. So
happy birthday to Anna, by the way.
I
Fun,
want to.
fun.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Jessica and I are gifting all of the Prima products.
That's kind of a big deal. That's a lot.
It's a $500 value. You're going to write a special suite.
550.
It is $559 actually.
Mm-hmm.
A special suite personalized note to this person.
Ooh,
And
I can't wait.
we did a randomized selection, and our new social media manager Victoria helped me with that today, and she helped me choose the winner. And I'm going to say the person's name, and we will DM this person right after this. But thank you so much everyone for participating. Thank you for all those who are following Prima. Jessica encouraged folks to follow Prima. Thank you for doing that, and following us and helping us broadcast this message and broadcast this brand and help us.
I think it's, by the, in addition to being a wealth of information, I think that the Prima Instagram account has some of the most beautiful artwork. I think that there has been such attention to staying on point with your messaging, but also just understanding that representation of all shapes, sizes, colors, and beliefs is elemental at this point in our lives. And I think it's so it's just it's a beautiful thing to look at.
Constantly just trying to be category defining, pushing the boundary. Thank you. Okay, the winner of our gratitude giveaway from Jessica and I. No special gifts, all the Prima products. She might be here, she might not be, she might be, but the winner is.
You just gave it away.
The winner is Danielle M. I'm going to butcher this name. Bacalapio. I'll show it. Danielle.
It's reversed.
Oh, sorry. She's from New York. She is a DJ, and she seems super cool. And Danielle, we're super excited for you, and grateful for everyone who participated and all your support. Truly, guys.
I'm getting out my pen and my paper, Danielle. I'm writing you up.
Big long note and a beautiful box. Any final questions? Congrats, girl. Any final questions for Jessica and I?
Congrats to you, girl.
We'll be there. Yes. I saw someone ask, will there be more talks with Jessica and I? Jessica, we should have our own podcast. Why don't we do that?
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do Cool.
Where are we doing it? We're going to record it. You be in one room, I'll be in the other, or are we going to be in the same room? I think people are wondering where we are right now.
Where are you?
Who knows? Where am I? I'm in my little workspace.
Everyone can find Jessica on her new Netflix super successful show, Holiday.
Movie. It's a
movie. Not show.
It's a movie.
Movie. Gavigan. And you have other things in the works and projects happening. So really excited. Hi, Sash. And really excited about all the projects you have coming up. Jessica's at home, and I'm at the mall.
Everyone wants to know where the kids are.
Yeah,
and there's Sasha, Holiday Baby.
I'm in our den at our office. But I just want to say thank you for everyone. Thank you so much for your time, babe, and sharing your insight and your inspiration. You have a huge supportive fan base, and it's so great to see them come up for you.
I'm the luckiest in the whole world. I really am. I cannot believe the incredible support network and people's encouragement and what they bring to, I know I'm not as good as I could be about the social media, but I try, I swear. And I am so emboldened and fortified by people's care of me and of what I try to do. And so I'm super, super grateful for that. And I'm very inspired by it. I love reading all the comments and seeing what people have to say. And I think this is a very interesting time of life. And I hope that we can all give each other a little more help than we think that we may need. And just be kind.
I was going to say a little bit more kindness.
Yeah. And then giving each other, not everyone's having a great day. And you never know. I say this all the time. It's so irritating to all the kids. It's like you never know where someone's coming from and you never know where they're going to. And that can mean a lot in terms of how they behave. And so holding people's feet to the fire all the time is maybe not the best idea. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't hold people's feet to the fire and hold people accountable, but
Sure.
it's a different time.
I love you.
Well, I'm so proud, and I'm so proud of all the values that Prima has, and that you have, that you clearly have put into all of it. So I get to benefit from that too.
Thank you. Congratulations, Danielle. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and showing up for us. Thank you always for showing up for Prima, and certainly on my behalf, for all of us here at Prima, thank you so much. Have a great, for those here stateside, have a great Thanksgiving week, and gratitude and generosity, and get outside. We opt outside as opposed to the pre-described urgency of the moment of buying. Let's opt outside and get out into nature and get out into family and connect as best we can, given social distancing and physical distancing, but do your best. And you want to say anything, babe?
No, I was just laughing. Get outside. Everybody get outside. Just get outside. Wherever you are, get outside.
No, run. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.